everyone, I'm your girl Katie and welcome to Divine Diaries, my personal walk with God. It's another episode for godly giggles. Yes, it's with me, of course. Gonna share with you guys some crazy stuff. Of course, I'm gonna show you how God uses our disappointments for a greater appointment, right? Gonna give you guys a sneak peek into some stuff that has happened to me and how I literally thank God for those situations because it has helped me to be the person that I am today. Now, a lot of us have gone through many things in life, but how many of us have really stopped to say, God, I respect you. God, thank you for letting me go through this so I can be stronger to encounter and know how to navigate these no challenges. Like, we ever stop and do that? Because it's real. I've learned growing up that they said, turn your mess into a message, turn your test into a testimony, and I've always lived by that. Another one is use your lemons to make lemonades. I live by those things. I always say my life is a living, breathing testimony of God's grace and His mercy. So I want to share some stuff, right? So welcome once again to Divine Diaries. If you are new to the channel, please hit that subscription bell and that notification thing so you can stay abreast of when I do drop one of my videos. I hope this will be able to inspire someone. It will make you want to come forward to share your own testimony, right? Now, I remember 10 years ago, back in 20, no, this is, it's not even 20, it's 2000. Yeah, it's 20, it's 2014. Oh my God, we're in 2024. Oh, time has flown by. 24 years after they said Y2K, the world would have come to an end. Imagine that. All right, so this happened in 2014. In 2014, I got my first BPO job. In 2014, I was earning $200. Yes, 200 Jamaican dollars per hour. So I was earning $8,000 for a 40-hour work week. That was really bus fare and lunch money. You call that. But then it did rough. No, I want to say to you guys that I remember when I got my first call center job, which is in the BPO sector. I did not have any flat shoes. So going to work for the first few days, I wore heels. I didn't have any flat shoes. I had just finished modeling, so I wasn't thinking of wearing any flat shoes. I never thought I would work in a call center, so I'm good girl, you have that. But I didn't have any money to go buy any shoes. But you see, God is good because my sisters, they had shoes and we all wear, well, no, we didn't all wear, but my sister that followed me, that I'm 7 years older than, she had a shoes, her school shoes. She was in high school and she wore size 8 and I wore size 8. So good girl, Kadian, had to beg her the old shoes to wear to work. And I wore those shoes with grace and pride. Now, as a little girl, used to wear a pair of high heel shoes. Now I wear flat shoes, so she have to glow up. It never did nice, but I walked with pride and I never allowed that to deter me from what I wanted to accomplish. No, I didn't last long in the BPO. I didn't last long. It was not meant for me. Let me just put that out there. I really just did train. I didn't last long on the phones, to be honest. Again, it was not for me. But I wanted more for my life. I wanted to accomplish a lot more. Remember, it's $200 an hour, $8,000 for the week. I wasn't complaining about the money. I did not care that I was just earning bus fare and lunch money. I didn't care because growing up, you always hear if you have a dollar, you need to save out of that $1, right? So I learned how to save and try to make something of myself, right? Again, the job didn't last long. I didn't last a month good in the job. So of course I had to find another job, which meant finding another job that paid $8,000 at the time because it was so hard at the time. And even in Jamaica, and I remember I was saying this to my mother this morning, a lot of places you go and you live, you have to have the right address. People are not employing you unless you have a certain address. It doesn't matter how qualified you are. Listen, good girl over here did not have the correct address. So good girl ain't going to get no fancy job where she, you understand? So yeah, I had started my career in banking and finance, but I didn't have the address. I didn't have the links. Yeah, links is a big thing too for corporate. So I didn't have that. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to let that make me not achieve what I want to accomplish. I have a goal, I have a vision. To be honest with you, I've always had these wild, crazy ideas, dreams, visions, aspirations, and up to this day, I still have them. Yes, I want to go to the moon. Yes, I want to go to the bottom of the sea. Yes, I want to fly to see what exactly is happening in the Bermuda Triangle. Yes, I have these wild dreams, and I know a lot of times people think I'm crazy. No, I'm not crazy. It's just my dreams, my visions. So yes, at that time, I still had my vision. I still had my dream. I was not going to let anything stop me. So of course, I left that job. I did another job. And at this now, I'm like, all right, cool. I have to make it work. I have to make it work. As much as I hate the job, I'm gonna make it work because I want to make something of myself. When I started it and I really started to settling into the job now, this is my second contact center, I got a call for corporate, a job that was paying me way more and stuff. But for some strange reason, I never took up the job offer. Now, when I just started out in the first contact center, I had folks who were trainers when I was just an agent. And I looked up to them and I was very much in awe. Like I admire these young ladies. And I remember my trainer, she said she stood in hot sun for 8 hours just to get that job, that call center job, and she only had one sexy subject. But when I listened to her and she spoke and she trained me, I was like, I was so fascinated. I was like, oh my God, like it is amazing to just think about what these women are going through and how they're making a difference. And she always said, you know, because of the call center, I have built my own little room. And I was just so fascinated and I loved that. So I said, you know what? I'm going to make this work. As much as I hate it, I'm going to make it work. And of course, back, you know, I did not accept the corporate job. I said, I'm going to tough it out and see what happens. And yeah, I did that. And I enjoyed it because I was earning good money. Like when you take the job serious, you were earning good money. Regardless of the little hourly rate, you got to have bonuses, right? But what I'm trying to say to you guys is I remained humble. I trusted God. I knew what I wanted out of life, right? And I want to encourage you guys, don't think you're in a race with anyone, because at the time I was in my 20s, I never thought I was in a race with anybody. I didn't care who had a car. I didn't care who had their own house. I never care. Up to this day, I don't care. You have that. I wish you all the best. I'm happy that you have it. But I am minding my own business because I have my own goals and I know what I prioritize. So I did that. Of course, I left the BPO and stuff. And I came back in 2016. And since I've been in there. Now, I want to highlight that some of these folks that I saw as trainers, When I came back to the BPO in 2016, because I came in as a supervisor and moving into ranks of manager and stuff like that, I held a higher position than a lot of them. And that was only possible because of God, because being in the contact center, I was able to hold supervisory positions. I went back to corporate in 2015 to hold supervisory positions and stuff. And because of my background in banking and finance, I knew right from wrong. I have to say that I knew right from wrong. A lot of people will say, oh, you did unscrupulous things, you did unethical practices. No, I've never done anything of that sort, but God was with me. I want to share that with you. And there has never been a time when I left out God. No matter where I went, I served God. Even if I didn't actively go to a particular church, I served God because I believe that God loves me unconditionally, and I had to serve him. I prayed morning and evenings, and there were noons I prayed because guess what? That's what I had. I was out there living on my own in my 20s, right? And I trusted God. No, I didn't follow any company, because I wanted, remember, girl have a wild dream, Girl want to have this. Listen to me. I was not going to follow any company. I was not going to do that. I have dreams. I have visions. I have goals. I see myself out there being elevated. Right now, I've dreamt a few years ago that I'm on platforms speaking to hundreds of thousands of people, and that's a dream. I got a literal dream, but it's going to be a reality by God's grace and mercy. So I want to encourage someone. It's not how you start, it's how you plan to progress on that race called life. Because again, I never started with no fancy dangle. I started at $200 an hour in 10 years ago in 2014. And look at me now. When I left in 2014 and went to corporate in 2015, came back like 18 to 20 months after, I was earning way more than $200 an hour. You get what I'm trying to say? And 8 years after, I am thankful. I'm thankful because I've been able to accomplish so much. As a single soul mother, it's not easy. But I thank God for the opportunities. I thank God for the situations. I thank God for those female managers that I had along the way that saw something in me. Recently, I was talking to a manager of mine. And she asked me where I was, and I was like, oh, I'm in the BPO. And she was like, what? I thought you wouldn't come back. Why did she think I wouldn't come back? The reality is I never showed any interest in this. But as I said, when I bottled down and I said, you know what, I am not going back. I'm going forward. I'm pushing towards my dreams. I buckled down in that job and I started to make money that I could pay my rent. I could be an individual. I could make something of my life. And I did not just want to take the course. I wanted to grow. I had the leadership qualities. I knew what I was about. And again, I trusted God in the midst of it. I hear of a lot of people, you call it, they do unscrupulous things. I've never done any of that. I have kept things very much real. I remember I had a manager who said I was too professional because you can't come and say anything to me. I know right from wrong. I serve a mighty God. And anywhere I go, I'm going to tell people about God. So ladies and gents, I just want to encourage you once more. If you know someone going through rough times, encourage them. Remind them to stay prayed up. Because I tell you, if I did not stay prayed up and I had a praying mother for me, because remember my grandparents, them dead, my grandmother dead, and my grandmothers, them dead, and my grandfather, them dead. I didn't have that. But I had a praying mother and I had supportive siblings. right? And I'm telling you, that was my support system. I was able to overcome, and God was with me in the midst of everything. And I thank God, right? So don't think you're in a race with anybody. Nobody run nobody race. Run your one race. You're not run with nobody. Run your race and look towards your dreams, your goals, your aspirations. Look at how you can accomplish them one by one. With God in the vessel, you can overcome so much. I hope this was able to inspire someone to know that, listen, it's not how you start, it's how you plan to progress and how you plan to continue run your race, because guess what? The race will never finish until you die, right? So continue to push on, because as I'm sitting here doing this, I have to keep pushing on. Yes, I am tired. Sometimes I'm drained. Sometimes I feel like I can't go on, but guess what? God gives me the strength. And I know, and I pray, and I trust God to give you the strength. He's going to help you so you can overcome. He's going to help you so you can continue to push through. So if you want the car, listen, you need to put in the work. Pray, trust God. Faith without works is dead. I don't mean to say God says so. It's in him words, right? So you gotta push on, ladies and gents. Please push on, push through. God is with you. Love you all. Please remember to subscribe. See you all in another session. Mwah! Thank you, guys.